So, in order to answer the question of what is my why, I need to break it down into three different parts. And just as it is my desire to nourish mind, body, and spirit, those are the three parts I'm going to break it down to. Only I'm going to start with the body because really what I have learned is it takes body awareness first and foremost so that then we can work with the mind and the spirit. That has at least been my personal experience, and that is also what the latest research is showing. So, taking from a bodily level, what is my why for wellness coaching? Well, not only as a physical therapist immersed in Western medicine, but also as somebody who has dealt with chronic pain, chronic fatigue, a genetic brain malformation, and a nervous system on constant high alert. Western medicine does not do the entire trick. In fact, my brain malformation has been so horribly treated by Western medicine. It's incredible. It has taken lifestyle change, habit change, getting in touch and in tune with my body that has allowed me to really transform a body that felt so broken to one that actually works with me and helps me to thrive. So, from a body standpoint, I want to tell you a little bit of my story. Starting at the age of 18, I had just graduated high school and was getting ready to travel for college. And the headaches hit with full force. These headaches were practically debilitating. I had to spend time in a completely dark room for hours on end because the headaches were just so intense. I was diagnosed with migraines, chronic tension headaches, anything under the sun, and yet no medications were working. It's only by some miracle that I got through college and graduate school. Right out of graduate school, I actually had another symptom arise. And that symptom led me down the rabbit hole of understanding and getting the diagnosis that I had a genetic brain malformation, something that I had lived with my entire life. But again, that was it. You've got a brain malformation. There's not really anything we can do about it. Just live with it. And yet my symptoms were still there. I was running on chronic fatigue, chronic pain, headaches that would knock me down for hours at a time, and a nervous system that just felt like it was always on edge. Finally, after a couple more years of dealing with this, I started going down the rabbit hole of, okay, there's got to be something that I can do to start working on this. 10 years later, I actually recognized what the true diagnosis was. And it's something called Chiari-1 malformation. And what this is it's a malformation of the skull that doesn't allow enough space for the brain to have a capacity to move. So the coordination center of my brain, when I am under a lot of stress, it will sink down and get compressed by the back of my skull, thus creating headaches, fatigue, pain, and because of that brain involvement, the nervous system was involved as well. Little did I know, however, that this also impacts the GI system as well as the connective tissue. I had been hypermobile for my entire life. I had knee surgery starting at the age of 16 because my kneecaps would dislocate. Ultimately, I ended up with total knee replacements far sooner than I ever should have. And it was all because of this constellation of Chiari-1 malformation. Now, there is surgery that is a possibility, but I did not want to go down that route. So I started to wonder, okay, if this is my brain kind of dropping down, then it's probably causing some irritation, some inflammation, some immune system response. And so I started looking into becoming curious as to what brought on my headaches, what brought on my fatigue, what brought on my pain. And that led me down lifestyle medicine. I learned that dairy was a consistent sensitivity for me from even being an infant and toddler and hearing stories from my mother. This dairy sensitivity actually is part of what threw off my GI system and ended up throwing my entire system into an array of symptoms alongside this brain malformation. So I had two systems that were in conjunction, creating some things that I am surprised I survived. But cutting out dairy and cleaning up my nutrition, recognizing that concentrated sugar and caffeine really tend to have a worsening effect on my brain's capacity to be stable, helped me to cultivate a nutrition plan that works for me. Secondarily, exercise as a physical therapist was always a part of what I tried to do. And yet, I would exercise 3 or 4 days in a row, and then I'd be down and out for 2 days because I was doing too much. What I recognized is that I was increasing blood flow to the back of my brain, and it was being cut off by that malformation. And so that's when I would end up getting fatigued and I'd have more pain and my nervous system would revolt. Whether it's Chiari-1 malformation or other things like autoimmune disease or true chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, there are components of this that run a similar course. Looking at nutrition, exercise, stress, sleep, and our emotional awareness can help us navigate these waters. And having a wellness coach that not only has done the research on the constellation of holistic healing, but also put in the work personally to do that very thing can be the catalyst for you in overcoming what is ailing you. So, if any of this resonates with you, if you are finding yourself stuck in a heightened nervous system, pain patterns that are just keeping you from living life to the fullest, or feeling overwhelmed and fatigued, then please get in touch with me for a free 30-minute discovery call. I have multiple different programs to meet multiple different financial situations, as well as meeting you where you are at to develop something that works for you and honestly comes from your own self-reflection, because that's where the magic lies. The more you can get in touch with your own body and bring awareness with curiosity to the table, then that is the magic that unlocks the door to true healing. Don't hesitate to schedule today. I look forward to hearing from you. The scheduling link is in the description. So please schedule the time that works best for you. Until next time, namaste.